MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Cubs baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details.
Whole series sold out this weekend. Today's the 5th sellout for the Reds this season. Johnny Cueto didn't lose to the Cubs last year, and he's leading 4-0 today.
Yeah, last 3 years he's 6-1 with a 175 against the Cubs. Last year was 4-0 against them with an ERA below 1, and he just keeps on keeping on, allowing just 1 base hit so far today, and a little trickery with the backhanded stop as well. Good movement on that 2-seam fastball here. Big double play ball off the bat of Darwin Barney. Cubs really haven't put much pressure on him at all, but here are the numbers from last year.
Anthony Rizzo fouls one back as we do start the 7th. Cueto at 84 pitches. His last time out was his first start, and over a month, 5 weeks he missed with the lat injury. 90 pitches against the Mets and a 4-3 win. Gave up a 3-run homer to Marlon Byrd. Only runs he allowed. Off the plate inside on a cutter, and it's 2-1. James Russell up in the Cubs bullpen. Roll over, grounder to Phillips, and Anthony has grounded out all 3 times to the right side today. Very little noise off the Cubs bats.
That's 12 ground ball outs by my counting. 3 back to the mound.
You say that like it might not be accurate.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right.
Just always remember,
plus or minus 2 there.
I'm counting
as I peruse my scorebook, you know. Speaking of math, did you see the deal on the CSN website? The little girl doing her math quiz. Yeah, there it is. No. I got it right. 12 groundouts, 5 flyouts.
Nicely done. I have not.
Yeah. The question was 9 times 9, a multiplication test, and she put Hosa for her answer. And the teacher wrote, "What is this?" And then I explained 81. It to her. Yeah, number 81.
Oh, that's great. 3rd grader in Oak Lawn. Do you know what 9 times 9 was when you were a 3rd grader?
I'm going to go with yes, but I can't say with any real conviction.
Frazier just whipped on it, and that bouncer. So Soriano is on first with 1 out.
Tricky in between hop here for Frazier as he retreats to try to get a more convenient hop and never does and can't glove it. Not really
hit.
Yeah, that's a hit. He's not played all that well. Johnny Cueto has not had to throw many pitches out of the stretch today.
Okay, so if Cueto had not allowed a hit through 6,
how do you score that one?
The official score have said a hit. I'm going to say he would have called it an error.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's just a guess. If that had been the case and he called it a hit, I don't think the fans would have reacted too well. Not that an official score should be swayed by that. Ground ball into right. Well, he would have broken it up.
Yeah,
right there.
no doubt about that one. Yep, would have taken the official score off the hook. Cueto continues to get ground balls. These two turn into hits.
66, Logan Ondrusek. 66, Logan Ondrusek.
Tall right-hander Logan Ondrusek.
Pretty good chance Aroldis Chapman is not available today. He's worked the first 2 games of this series. He's worked 3 of the last 4 days. Reds try to stay away from using him 3 days in a row. That's only happened once all year.
Two on with 1 out. Cubs trying to get on the board and get back in this game. Two and two.
And for a low hit game, and considering Cueto's stuff, you would think a bunch of strikeouts. He's only had 1 today. Not getting the swings and misses like we talk about with Garza and efficiency. With Cueto, it's been 92 to 94 miles an hour fastballs. That one clocked in 95, but it's just the movement on the two-seamer. He's been getting a lot of ground balls, weak contact with that fastball. It's not like as you watch this game, you're thinking, man, is he just masterful the way he's setting him up, painting the corner, and then fooling him with the off-speed pitch. I haven't really seen that today. It's just a lot of pitches in the strike zone, a lot of them down with good movement.
To the shortstop, Cozart, and no relay throw. Phillips made that decision early. The ball was not hit hard enough.
Broken bat took a lot of steam off of that ground ball and took away the double play opportunity for the Reds and gives Valbuena a chance here.
It is a 2-out opportunity. And they're on the board. Here comes Soriano to the plate. Luis Valbuena makes it 4-1.
Here's some Cub fans in the house making some noise as Valbuena gets the Cubs on the board and Dusty Baker out of the dugout. Belly button high fastball rifled into center field. Third hit of the inning.
That will lead us to the Honda call to the pen. I think.
Maybe not.
Nope, it will not. A little pep talk from the manager. He's going to leave him in.
Normally, the manager goes out in a situation like that, you anticipate a pitching change. I think Dusty just wanted to get some love from the Reds fans. They knew he'd give him a nice round of applause for leaving Cueto in there.
First and second, and the pitch to Barney. Fastball strike.
Seven shutout for Steven Strasburg so far today with 9 strikeouts over the Phils. Reports of his demise greatly exaggerated.
I did not see if Davey decided to shave. It's all about the Nationals offense. They scored 5 runs Friday in a 5-2 win. Got beat 5-3 last night. 5 more runs in the 7th inning, and I believe still batting here today.
If indeed Chapman is not available today, help to explain why Dusty's asking a little more from his starter, try to limit the number of outs his bullpen has to get. It also means this is a big at bat for Darwin Barney, and they are really shallow in the outfield. Doesn't matter. Well,
Cueto strikes him out to probably finish off his performance today. 4-1 Reds in the 7th.
The hot and spicy McChicken. Revving up the dollar menu with a blend of savory spices. Get hold of crispy tender satisfaction or grab a familiar favorite, all for just $1 each. Hot and spicy. Can you handle more to love for less?
What's something that's slow that you wish was fast?
Turtle.
Really? A turtle?
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'd rather be a slow turtle.
Well,
I know why. Because when you're slower, you won't have to get in the street as fast and get ran over.
But if you're a slow turtle and you're in the middle of the street, what happens? Austin? Exactly.
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network.
Nothing's gonna stop us till we get to Vegas! Yeah!
Your order's ready at the next window.
Thank you!
Next up, refreshment with delicious 49-cent cones at McDonald's for a limited time only.
tweet your favorite Cubs memories, pictures, and more with the hashtag TeamCap to support the North Side in the Crosstown Clash. It's Chuck versus Cap, a Chicago baseball Twitter war. Get in on the action and tweet Team Cap now. Watch the Crosstown Cup tomorrow on Comcast Sportsnet to see which team comes out on top. And we'll take a look at the probables. Jeff Samardzija, Jose Quintana tomorrow. Jeff 2-6. Jose 3-1 with a 3.48, and then Edwin Jackson 1-7 with a 6.11 ERA. Chris Sale, the talented lefty, 5-2, 2.53 earned run average. First two of 4, and then when the action shifts to Wrigley, Banks and Feldman, and Thursday it's Peavy and Wood. So 3 consecutive lefties for the White Sox in that series. And as you know, the Cubs have really struggled against southpaws. Speaking of southpaws, here's one, James Russell. Working for the 25th time, 1-1 with an ERA right at 1. Peripherals are outstanding. 19 strikeouts, just 4 walks, and 18 innings of work.
This big crowd here getting set for the Beach Boys after the game. That has become kind of an annual tradition here. The Beach Boys used to play here a lot on 4th of July at the old ballpark on the AstroTurf. Rumor has it John Stamos is still touring with the Beach Boys.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah. I think it's the Bruce Johnston, Mike Love Beach Boys, not including Brian Wilson. But who knows, maybe the former Giants closer will show up just for fun.
The Beard? Where is he these days?
I think he's out of work right now.
One scoreless for Carlos Marmol this afternoon. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts.
Good slider, 1-1. I told you the story before the game. Bruce Johnston, longtime member of the Beach Boys, actually joined the group in the early 60s. Brian Wilson didn't tour for a while there early. I think because of some stage fright issues, and so Bruce would fill in as a singer and then join the group full time. As Votto strikes out, when we were playing the Rangers a few years ago, we ran into the Beach Boys. They were staying at our hotel, and Bruce was as nice as you could possibly be, celebrity or not. And he started to tell some stories that included Paul and John and Linda and Keith, and you could probably fill in the surnames, but he talked about them like they're just lifelong friends. Called strike on Brandon Phillips.
Well, it's kind of like when we talk about Pat and Keith and Marty.
In the dirt.
Are they wearing flowered shirts and sandals? They live the life. The Beach Boys, it seems like they'd always be.
Mike Love, I think, typical baseball cap and, you know, Tommy Bahama shirt. Yes. Fly ball to right. It's Sherholtz out there. As I was saying, I wouldn't even call that a Tommy Bahama shirt. That a little more colorful. The typical Hawaiian shirt. First base.
Bruce got things started with a home run back in the 4th. His 7th. He started to heat up after a sluggish start. His home run numbers have gone up each year he's been in the big leagues.
That'd be a good shirt for you.
I kind of like the look, yeah.
Is that Dana Carvey?
Don't know.
I don't think it is, but nicely done, Luis Valbuena. A couple of pats on the back from the fans. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, get it. 4-1 Reds.
She knows you like no one else, and you wouldn't have it any other way. But your erectile dysfunction? You know, that could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
$1 is cool. $1 small frozen lemonade is really cool. Delicious frozen lemonade or strawberry lemonade, just $1. Right now through Monday only at Burger King, where taste is king. Come in and get cool.
For a limited time at Luna, buy one room, get your second room free. Plus, get up to $500 off. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna.
Comcast Sportsnet presents Great Moments in Crosstown History.
It is a and Pierzynski not only bangs into Barrett, bangs onto the plate, and here they go. Certainly getting into it with Barrett, and now both dugouts empty. I mean, there is some hooking going on in the bottom of two piles.
See the next chapter on Comcast Sportsnet.
Yeah, Cubs and Sox have had an interesting rivalry the last 7 or 8 years. Here's Logan Ondrusek. But AJ's gone. No Lou, no Ozzie.
Well, we do have a wager with Stoney and Hawk.
We do.
We're betting. We got a food bet with those guys. If
they buy
Cubs
us
win, they buy us a sausage, and we're gonna get them a bison dog if the Sox win.
He was a former member of the White Sox, Ryan Sweeney.
Pitching line on Russell, 1 inning, 1 strikeout. 1 inning, 1 strikeout.
Ball 1 on the pinch hitter. 4-1 Reds.
Cubs finally able to break through on Cueto last inning, but just a singleton. He allowed 1 run on 4 hits, 7 innings, a couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts. We saw Ondrusek Friday night. He worked a scoreless inning in that ball game.
Foul tipped. White Sox going for the sweep, leading Miami 4-3 in the 6th. A couple of last at bat wins to start that series for the White Sox.
They'll be at 500 if they win today.
Big right-hander on a 1-2. And he'll get Sweeney by a step.
That's the 5th ground ball to the mound today by Cub hitters.
I can't think of a more eventful 0 for 3 for a Cubs batter this year than David DeJesus. For Avis, slow-mo replay. David's reaction priceless.
Yeah. It's like, are you kidding me?
I already know what his reaction will be when we talk to him after the game. He'll say, I know, right? How about that? Popped him up. And it's caught by Cozart. Fans, come watch the Cubs battle the Pirates Sunday, June 9th at Wrigley Field. Game time is 1:20. And make sure to bring the kids. The first 5,000 children 13 and younger will receive color-changing sports bottle presented by Cubs Summer Camps. Then at the conclusion of the game, the first 1,000 children 13 and younger can run the bases. Cubs.com for tickets. I think we'll change that to will receive a color-changing sports bottle. That sound a little better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, make that executive decision.
0-1 to Castro, misses.
Here's a this day in baseball history for you. 1930, Joe Sewell struck out twice. Notable because it was the last time he struck out all year. 3 punch outs for the season and 353 at bats. If you needed contact, Joe is your man.
Uh-oh. Doing the wave.
Not a fan of the wave, but I guess if you're ever going to do it, you would do it when the Beach Boys are here.
Lined into right center for a base hit.
The start of something good. A 2-hit day for Castro here today. A double down the left field line in the 4th. And a little flick into right center for a 2-out single.
So Joe Sewell, you mentioned him with the crazy walk to strikeout ratio. How about this note? 1927 with the Indians. He was 3 for 19 in stolen base chances. Can you imagine like a worst percentage ever?
Stop running, Joe.
Attempted 19 steals and was caught 16 times.
Well, that to me, that's on the manager. you gotta give that guy the stop sign.
Well, he got on base a lot that year. 180 hits, 51 walks, but he made way too many outs on the bases. You know what? Career .312 hitter will allow for that one little bad year on the base paths. Castro will take second on a wild pitch.
This is also the anniversary of one of the most unique games ever. Harvey Haddix of the Pirates, perfect through 12 innings against Milwaukee, and then loses it in the 13th.
I think was it Joe Adcock?
Yeah, he hit a home run that didn't go for a home run.
Right, because somebody passed somebody on the bases.
He passed Aaron. So Felix Mantilla, who had reached on an error, scored. But the other runs didn't count. Lou Burdett went the distance for the win. Both guys going 13 innings. Perfect for 12, but he doesn't get credit for a perfect game.
1-2 on Rizzo. Well, if he could get a hold of one here, he'd get the Cubs within one. Two.
Again, we're not sure about Aroldis Chapman, whether he's available today or not. So even if you could just get this one home and put a little pressure on whoever has that ninth inning for the Reds.
They have been lights out. Their starters with a 2.11 ERA their last 12 games. The bullpen 183 over the last 14. Giving up just one run combined so far. Good take by Rizzo. 3-2. Soriano on deck. Ondrusek does not want to have to face him as a potential tying run.
Ryan Hannigan's taking a beating back there all of a sudden. His ball's in the dirt from Ondrusek. Well, this is in keeping with what we've been talking about all day long about plate discipline, having good at bats, staying within yourself, making sure you get a pitch you can do something with.
That is a fair ball, and it's going to plate Castro. An RBI double for Rizzo. 4-2, and the tying run will come up.
3-2 fastball, gets the head out in front of it, cuts it off, and whacks it into the right field corner. Among the league leaders in extra base hits, Rizzo collects another double. He had 2 of those yesterday, 3 for 3 yesterday, plus a walk. And we've got some late game intrigue here this afternoon. Jonathan Broxton also worked the first 2 games of this series and may not be available.
Reds coming back from 3-0 and 2-0 deficits in the first 2 games. The Cubs trying to erase a 4-0 disadvantage today. They got one in the 7th, another one here in the 8th, and they're not done yet. A.J. Hoover is the right-hander on the left, and the lefty on the right is Manny Parra. Really handcuffed Hannigan.
Missed his spot by about 3 feet. Ondrusek's been anything but sharp here this afternoon.
High deep drive. Left center field. Alfonso Soriano's tied it. A 2-run homer, and it's 4-4.
There's some big 2-out knocks for you. 2 out, nobody on, single, double, home run. The Cubs exacting some revenge with a crooked number of their own, and look at the finish. No doubt about it. Soriano knows he got it.
A Ford home run replay. Career homer number 377. He's now tied with Norm Cash and Jeff Kent for 67th all time. And that's it for Ondrusek. We've got a new ball game, and it's a Honda call to the pen. We'll be back.
Motor Trend asked people who aren't driving a Ford to take the EcoBoost Challenge. Ford Fusion with EcoBoost technology took on Honda and Toyota.
Ooh, baby. This is a 4-cylinder? 37 miles per gallon. That's awesome.
Assisted parking? This is amazing. I feel like I'm cheating on my Honda.
The power, the way it handles, in comparison to the Camry, is a lot better. It fits my personality. It's me.
Get a Ford Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months during the final days of the Ford EcoBoost Challenge.
Save big money during Menards' 11% sale.
Receive an 11% rebate on all your purchases all this week.
Tackle big cleaning jobs with Lippmann. Choose from 3 18-inch push brooms, $7 each after 11% rebate. Remove water hardness and reduce chlorine with Water Boss. This 38,000 grain water softener is $439 after 11% rebate.
Hurry in now and save big money.
With an 11% rebate on everything in the store.
Save big money at Menards.
So Honda call to the pen. Left-hander Manny Parra recently came back from the DL, replacing Sean Marshall, who went to the shelf for the second time this year. It's a 4-4 tie.
Man, Parra, he has not been very good at all for the Reds this year. 6 2/3 innings. He's allowed 15 hits. It's a .441 batting average against. Guy with good stuff. Fastball, curveball, and a split. Formerly with the Brewers. Guy that at one point they were pretty high on. He was a 10-game winner back in 08 for them. 11-11 in 2009. He's always battled control issues.
He was on the DL with a strained left pectoral muscle, chest muscle. Nate Scherholtz. Strike one on the swing. So after two were out, Castro with a single, Rizzo knocked him in with a double, and then Soriano with a majestic 2-run homer. Through the hole into left. 4 straight 2-out hits.
We've seen this a whole bunch from Nate Scherholtz, and he really emphasizes this approach against left-handers. He hasn't had a lot of at-bats against lefties, but he tries to keep that front shoulder closed and shoot it the other way.
Strike on Castillo.
Among those 15 now, 16 hits allowed by Parra this year, 2 home runs.
Cubs manager Dale Swain very familiar with Parra on that Milwaukee coaching staff. While Parra was pitching for the Brewers, a lot of starts early in his career. 62 appearances out of their bullpen last year. First year now with Cincinnati. 2 strikes on Castillo. Now the other part of this, the bullpen, after Matt Garza went just 4 innings, Dolis, Marmol, Russell, 3 scoreless innings on just 1 hit and 1 walk combined. Parra coming home. Boy, another good play by Hannigan.
And this ball spiked way out in front of home plate. Hannigan's been bouncing around back there like a goaltender. What we were talking about last night when Dusty Baker used Chapman in the 9th, it was a 5-2 Reds lead. The bottom of the order was up for the Cubs. And you know, you see it all the time. That's what managers do. They hand the ball to the closer in those situations. But wouldn't you rather have Chapman available now in this game?
I don't think there's any question about it. A safe spot, managers.
Yeah, I'm not singling out Dusty. They all do it.
Long look at Scherholtz before the pitch. Castillo hits it foul in the air with the second deck. Outside, maybe high, and it's full 3-2.
Backdoor breaking ball from Parra, stays off that outside edge.
Votto still on the bag at first. Scherholtz will go with the pitch, considering there are 2 outs.
What's your 8-ball say here? Home run? See a home run coming?
I think a base hit. Just a line drive base hit. Or a walk. Same difference.
I'll look fuzzy. I certainly don't anticipate walk with Wellington, but that's he's on a streak here, yeah. He's up to what, 4 now?
So the question I have about this ballpark, At Wrigley Field, the bullpens are on the field. It's pretty obvious to see who's loosening. It's a little trickier here. Now the Reds put their bullpen out in left center. They have the first base dugout, so this is basically their view of their own bullpen. But from the Reds dugout, they really can't see into the Cubs bullpen, and the Cubs can't really see into the Reds bullpen. Swing and a miss. So how aware are they of who's?
Well, they see something. They can tell somebody's up throwing, and they know it's not Chapman, so they know he's right-handed, and that's why Valbuena's getting this at bat. People might say, why are they having him face the lefty? If you pinch hit with Ransom here, then the Reds are going to counter with a righty, so you would lose that advantage. So the manager just settles on which matchup he prefers.
0-2 on the way. This is outside. I can't think of bullpens that are more hidden than these around the majors.
Yeah, Dodger Stadium, right? A little tough, maybe.
Buena almost went around. 2-2. Go-ahead run is Sherholtz at second, Castillo at first. And the pitch. Chu in center to end the inning. Struck well by Valbuena. Cubs hit a few balls hard in this inning, including the RBI double by Anthony Rizzo and the biggest blast of the game. A game tying 2-run homer by Soriano. It's 4-4 in the 8th.
Sometimes going to new places is the only way to truly arrive. Going new places. That's how we fly. Beginning June 2nd, Southwest Airlines is offering new nonstop service from Midway to Wichita, starting at $99 one way. Book now online, only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Let's compare bundles with Dish Network and DirecTV. If you want the best in TV, phone, and internet, then Dish Network simply can't compete, because DirecTV partners with the nation's leading providers to deliver a superior bundle for one low price. Combining some of the fastest internet speeds with the world's #1 TV service, DirecTV's bundles leave Dish in the dust. Another reason 30 million people agree. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
Explore everything Gerald Subaru has in store, like the all-new line of sporty and stylish vehicles designed to fit your life. We have a huge inventory, all engineered for safety and all backed by Gerald's exclusive lifetime warranty.
Introducing the all-new 2014 Forester with an exciting redesigned look and enhanced fuel efficiency. Get 0% for 48 months on the 2013 Outback and Legacy.
Gerald has the Subaru that is right for you. Gerald Subaru, home of the exclusive lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan with a Sportsnet Central update for you. The Cubs road trip continues tomorrow right here at Comcast Sports Center. Take on the White Sox at U.S. Cellular Field. Join us for an hour-long pregame show. Begins at 5. Jeff Samardzija pitches for the Cubs. Jose Quintana for the White Sox. Don't forget, join me and Todd Hollingsworth for Cubs Postgame Live immediately after the final out. Now back to Cincy with Leonard J.D.
Cap, thank you. Cubs Authentics is the premier outlet for all MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia, from game-used balls, bases, and jerseys to autographed bats and photos. Cubs Authentics has the most exclusive Cubs memorabilia. Visit the Wrigley Field Concourse, the Cubs store across from Wrigley Field, or Cubs.com/authentics for all your Cubs memorabilia needs. Sweeney remains in the game in right. So Scherholtz is out. And Fujikawa goes into the 5th spot in the Cubs order.
Fujikawa 1-1 with that high ERA. A couple really rough outings for him prior to going on the disabled list. He struck out 13 men, walked but 1 though in 10 1/3. So you see those numbers, and you just have to assume if he continues to pitch like that, that ERA will go down and down and down.
Frazier, Paul Hannigan, and a tie ball game in the 8th. Broken bat bouncer. Rizzo has time to recover. Fujikawa covering the bag. The final in Washington. 6-1 the Nats over the Phillies. So they take 2 of 3. Final line on Strasburg today: 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, 9 strikeouts rather, as he beat Cole Hamels. Hamels is 1-8.
Wow. What's his earned run average? You got it?
4.43.
So he hasn't been horrible.
Gave up 5 today, but 3 earned.
Fujikawa has been pretty good since coming off the disabled list. Scoreless ball in all but 1 of his outings. He gave up a run to the Mets last weekend. This is his 2nd appearance of the road trip. Pitched a scoreless inning a couple of days ago, 3 days ago in Pittsburgh. And showing good life on that fastball. 93, 94 miles an hour with a little hop.
Max Scherzer is 7-0. Set down the last 22 batters he faced in beating Cleveland Tuesday. 6 solid innings today. 6-1 over the Twins, who have now lost 11 of 12. Coming back, trailing the Pirates 4-3. Pittsburgh led 4-0 early. Wandy Rodriguez on the mound for the Pirates. Giovanni Gallardo went 4, gave up 4 runs. Orioles trying to hold off the Blue Jays, leading 5-4, but the Jays with 2 runs in the 9th. Been a struggle for Jim Johnson here lately. He's trying to get that elusive final out.
Nope.
3-2.
Get back on top, drive that ball down. He can work up in the zone. He'll get swings and misses. Let her high. That one, though, kind of so far up and out that it was easy to lay off.
Going in with some heat. Diving stop, Valbuena, he gets up and throws him out.
Paul can run a little bit. Pretty play by Valbuena. Well off the line. And then the quick reaction in the dive to his feet. Gets his man. Castro there ready to make the play on the backhand side in the hole, but the third baseman taught to play anything he can reach on a ball like that.
Now Hannigan with 2 outs. Donald Lutz has grabbed a bat and is in the on-deck circle.
Just 2 base runners allowed so far by the Cubs bullpen today. Two-out triple off of Dolis in the 5th. Marmol allowed a walk in his inning of work. Other than that, nothing. The sense that Hannigan was looking away there, the way he reacted to that fastball that really wasn't that far off the plate inside. And you see he's drifting a little bit to cover the outside corner. That ball wasn't that close.
Kick and the 2-1. Too high.
He tried to throw a cutter there. Tougher pitch to finish to drive down in the strike zone. Initially it looked like Castillo wanted just a good fastball down and away. You see he's trying to throw a little cutter. Could have been called a strike. Barney, Sweeney, DeJesus up for the Cubs in the top of the 9th.
Erasing a 4-0 deficit with 1 in the 7th and then adding 3 in the 8th. By the way, Toronto just beat the Orioles 4 in the 9th, 6-5.
Wow.
Castro gloves. Fujikawa deals a 1-2-3 all ground ball 8th inning. Off to the 9th, 4-4.
Bonjour, je t'adore, c'est aujourd'hui et toujours, maman. How about me?
Here's to a life less routine. The more connected, athletic, seductive Lexus RX. Lease the 2013 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months, with $26.99 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
It's It's your first time here, and 80% of the bar is staring at you. Good thing you invited Tommy, who triples your street cred. You order 3 Modelo Especials, earning 7 slow nods from the crowd. You're 20% more confident. Then you remember your ace in the hole, Dylan, and his encyclopedic knowledge of garage rock. Nailed it. Modelo Especial. Discover the Especial.
I was turned in Djibouti, Africa, 2004.
Vietnam in 1972.
Fort Benning, Georgia in 1999.
USAA auto insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve military members, veterans, and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
Tomorrow, the Crosstown Cup is back on Comcast Sports Net. Get the most in-depth coverage of the city's favorite series with a special hour-long pregame live from the ballpark. Join me and Len for Game 1 of the Crosstown Cup presented by The Great Escape tomorrow night at 5 on Comcast Sports Net. Cubs Sox getting it on this week. Dale Swaim had some comments on Paul Konerko earlier on today.
One, he's a handsy hitter. There's not a whole lot going on, in his swing. It's a very, I've always put him in that category of like a slump-proof hack, because it's so calm and he uses his hands and so well that, he doesn't, it's hard for those kind of guys sometimes to go in real bad slumps. And when they're out there every day, obviously he's got the power to hit home runs, but, smart player, that comes a lot, a lot of great hitters are really, really smart too.
Paulie struggling 1 for 3 today, but hitting .238, but you don't expect that to continue.
Well, here comes J.J. Hoover. Big righty, 0-3 with a .372. He's got a live arm, striking out to a man per inning. As you can see, he's had some control problems as well.
Darwin Barney out into the alley. Chu can't get it. Barney coming around second, and I think that was the right choice. Stopping with a double.
Yeah, that absolutely was the right choice. He was thinking double, and then as the ball eluded Chu, visions of triple started to dance around in his head, but he dropped anchor at just the right time before he made too much of a commitment. With nobody out, you cannot afford to be thrown out at third base. See right there, as it gets by Chu, he's maybe thinking 3. Great start. Leadoff double in the top of the 9th. Right here. Drop that anchor, big fella. Hey, he has good stopping skills, man. He slammed on the brakes.
Yeah.
Went from 60 to 0 in a hurry.
See if they can get him in now. Runner at second with nobody out. And Hoover's 1-0 to Sweeney is low. Yunonori Kawasaki with a 2-run double for the Blue Jays. So they beat Jim Johnson, who's now lost 5 times. Ball got away from Hannigan briefly. 3-0.
Yeah, Hoover, his command, he's all over the place right now.
Ball actually hit the foot of Bob Davidson, or Barney would be at third.
Taking all the way on 3-0. Now you put him in a box. One spot. Get your pitch, take a rip. Otherwise, dismiss it. Not just miss it, dismiss it. Interesting that the Cubs opted not to bunt here to try to advance Barney to third base.
Sweeney cracks his bat as he pops it up. Thought that one might get over Cozart's head. I think the hope there on Dale's part was even if Sweeney made it out, he would pull it.
Yeah, and that's I have no problem with that. I know people would say, well, you got to bunt him over there in that situation, but you got a left-handed hitter, the righty on the mound, and you're hoping you can pull it with some authority and maybe drive him in, get a base hit, or if nothing else, at least advance him. And the other part of the equation is, even though you only have one inning to go, if you could put a 2 spot on the board, this dynamic Reds lineup that's about to turn over, feel much more comfortable with a 2-run lead than a 1.
A great salvage here for DeJesus. Not going to happen. Now 0 for 5. He does get Barney to third, but that was not the intent. 2 outs. Now they need a 2-out hit. I don't know why runner at second, nobody out's been such a problem for this team, but it has. By the way, the Reds putting Donald Lutz into the game and left, and he will lead off the bottom of the 9th in the 9th spot. Two and 0. I think Ian Kennedy's ready for a dishwasher endorsement.
I saw that.
He's going to miss his next outing. He cut his right index finger while doing the dishes.
Good swing. Yep. And pulled off a little bit, but good aggressive swing at a 2-0 fastball. That's what we saw from him back in the 4th when he ripped that double into the left field corner. This is what Dale Swain wants to see a little bit more out of Castro. Aggressive swings on the fastball. He needs to tighten it up a little bit.
So Kennedy will not go tomorrow, and that could affect his next scheduled outing against the Cubs next weekend. The 2-1. Another foul tip. 2-2. Early in his career, Starlin faced a lot of breaking balls, as a lot of rookies do. And then he piled up a lot of hits. Teams have been going after him with fastballs. So I would expect either a fastball or, if it's a breaking ball, to be way out of the zone.
Up and in heater.
Yep.
Didn't get it in. It was up. Hoover's vulnerable because he has not been hitting his spots.
And he got him. Castro pounds his bat to the dirt. And we will go to the bottom of the 9th. We are still tied at 4.
With a new Lincoln, obsession comes standard.
Let's do this! Ready to hit him straight? Gonna let me in? Got your croissant.
Discover what makes a Lincoln during the Lincoln sales event. Get exceptional offers on the 2013 Lincoln MKX, and your first month's payment compliments of the Lincoln Motor Company.
It doesn't take any special skill to enjoy Wisconsin. Just drop in.
Nobody gives you more in a 7-passenger vehicle than Dodge. Dodge Durango delivers best-in-class standard power and towing. Dodge Journey is America's most versatile midsize crossover. And Dodge Grand Caravan is America's best-selling, most awarded minivan ever. So maybe the most important thing we give you in a 7-passenger vehicle is a choice.
Get 0% APR for 72 months, plus current Chrysler Group owners get $750 bonus cash on Grand Caravan.
Missed opportunity for the Cubs in the top of this inning. They had a runner at second with nobody out after a Darwin Barney leadoff double, but could not get that run in. So Kyuji Fujikawa will go beyond an inning for the first time in the major leagues. 11 previous appearances. Remember, his first outing was opening day, 2 pitches to get the save. Since then, he's gone exactly 1 inning in his last 10 appearances.
You get into a potential extra inning situation. Your starter only went 4, so the bullpen's already covered 4 innings, so you can ask a little bit more of your guys.
Kyuji made 15 pitches in the 1-2-3/8. Took him 30 pitches against the Giants on April 12th, so it's not a big issue. Here's Donald Lutz, recalled on April 29th. Got his first career hit at Wrigley Field. It was off Sean Camp, a single on May 5th. Also got his first RBI and steal. Played for Team Germany in the WBC qualifier. Second graduate from Major League Baseball's International European Academy to play in the majors. Alex Liddy out of Italy was the first. Called strike 0-2.
Lutz has got power, 22 home runs last year. A couple of minor league stops. $17 in A ball, 5 more at AA Pensacola.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Fuji with a little giddy up on this elevated fastball, 94 miles an hour.
Pitch to Chu. Misses, ball 1.
One of the goals of Major League Baseball the last decade plus, expand the game internationally. A Japanese pitcher, a South Korean hitter. A German hitter was just retired.
Swing and a miss on a split.
She was really locked in when we saw the Reds earlier this year. This weekend, not so much.
Scalded foul. The 2-2. We'll do it again. Full count, 3-2. Cozart's next.
He's having a hard time when Castillo calls for that inside fastball on him. And that's a danger zone when you're trying to go in and that ball drifts back over the middle. That's where a lot of damage gets done.
Hit him, I think. Yep.
He leads the world in that. Chu does.
That's the 13th time he's been hit this year. Already, we're not even into June yet.
Wanted to make sure it didn't drift over the middle of the plate like those other ones. And Chu wearing that pad. Gets whacked, takes his base. He is capable of stealing a bag. He and Ian Kinsler, the only players in baseball last year with at least 40 doubles, 15 home runs, and 20 steals.
Do I need to say it again? I will. Key guy here, Cozart. Seems like every time he comes up we say that, especially here. Votto on deck. No room for error. 4-4 in the bottom of the ninth. Bounced the throw to Rizzo.
Pretty aggressive lead.
Not running. Cozart looks at a strike on a cutter. Four-seamer, a little wide, 1-1. It's Kevin Gregg up in the Cubs bullpen. Reds with a 4-run fourth, have not scored since. Alex Cobb over CC Sabathia today. Rays 8, Yankees 3 the final. Cobb is 6-2. He went into the ninth 8 1/3. Sabathia gave up 7 runs in 7 innings. It dropped to 4-4. Popped him up. This will be out number 2. Bring up Joey Votto. 1 for 4. Chew the runner at first. Kick and a pitch, swing and a miss. Thought I'd look up just how Votto and Chew rank in the major leagues in pitches seen. Going into action today, Chew #1 in the majors, 948 pitches. Votto #2, 947. Well, these two guys have seen the most pitches of any big leaguers all season. One guy's at first, the other's at the plate.
Able to lay off that split finger drifting away, and Castillo now wants to go out and have a chat with QG, figure out how they want to try to get this talented hitter. Maybe too, just hey, don't forget about Chew over there at first base. Make sure you give him a little different look. Deep in the outfield.
Three and 1. Obviously, Votto, a big-time walk candidate. It's not as if Fujikawa's trying to work around him. He does not want to put the winning run at second base. Here it is. Big cut. And it's 3-2.
To me, like Votto shuffled his feet as this pitch was being delivered with an eye towards carving one the other way. I think he was anticipating fastball away here. Look him sneak up in the box. Either that or splitter. Maybe thought he was going to get a splitter there. Don't see many hitters in the modern game do that.
On 3-1.
Make that kind of an adjustment in the box.
Chu will go on this 3-2. And here it is. It's outside, ball 4. Dale Swain coming out. He goes to the home plate umpire first. Looks like Kevin Gregg coming on. Scott Hairston's going to enter the game as well. Ed Halber, the Cubs assistant trainer, also out. Check on Fujikawa. We assume Dale had already asked or told Bob Davidson he was making a pitching change. He did. Honda call to the pen. Don't go anywhere. Bottom of the 9th. We'll be back.
Bonjour, je t'adore, c'est aujourd'hui et toujours, maman. How about me?
Here's to a life less routine. The more connected, athletic, seductive Lexus RX. Lease the 2013 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months, with $26.99 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
Limited time at Luna. Buy one room, get your second room free. Plus, get up to $500 off. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna.
Some people might think we're set in our ways, that we're old-fashioned. We couldn't agree more. For 140 years, Coors Banquet has only been brewed in Golden, Colorado, with pure Rocky Mountain water and the best high country barley. With us, old-fashioned has never gone out of style. Coors, the banquet beer.
On to call to the pen. It's the Cubs closer, Kevin Gregg, trying to get this game into extras. First and second, 2 outs, 4-4 tie.
He has been really, really good since joining the Cubs, as indicated by that 0 ERA and 6 out of 6 in save opportunities. Obviously not a save opportunity here. He's not trying to protect the lead. He's just trying to keep the ball game going. Scott Hairston takes over in right field in a double switch, and Ryan Sweeney will slide on over to center field as Kevin Gregg gets ready to lock horns with Brandon Phillips here. And we saw Ed Halber out there checking on Fujikawa as he was leaving the game anyway. Running fastball, and Votto does what he does so often, takes the walk, and Fujikawa showing some signs of discomfort.
I'm not sure what it was.
Trainers are so good at picking up the least little thing from a guy on the field that indicates that they may be hurt. Brandon Phillips in his career is 1 out of 6 against Kevin Gregg with a couple of punch outs. 0 for 3 today with a walk.
So we'll reset for you. Chu is the winning run at second. Votto, the only job he has is to try to break up a force out. Boy. Breaking ball missed. Let's hope that's not what it looked like for Fujikawa.
You know, if you're an optimist, you're saying, well, he's just pointing at his elbow, saying, I dropped my elbow, I need to get back on top. And if you're a pessimist, you're thinking, uh-oh, that elbow's hurting.
One and nothing on Phillips. The pitch. He went. Did he just drop a Luis Valbuena and point to first?
Self-check, yeah.
Here's the problem, Brandon. If the home plate umpire thought you swung at it,
it's too late.
You can't then appeal.
Yeah.
Say the first base umpire said I didn't.
No do-overs, no mulligans for hitters. 12-game hitting streak on the line for Phillips.
0 for 3 with a walk. Fly ball. Ryan Sweeney calling for it. We will go to extras. Reds strand a couple. On to the 10th. We move 4-4.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Snackin' with Sasquatch. Feed your wild side.
Heading to the Kia Memorial Day sales event is better than heading to some other sales event. Because you can test drive an Optima with an available GDI turbo engine, a Sorrento with available third-row seating and a power liftgate, or a Soul, an IIHS top safety pick. And every Kia is backed by one of these. Better cars, better warranty. Game, set, match. Lease the Optima LX for $199 a month or get 0% APR financing at the Kia Memorial Day sales event.
$1 is cool. $1 small frozen lemonade is really cool. Delicious frozen lemonade or strawberry lemonade, just $1. Right now through Monday only at Burger King, where taste is king. Come in and get cool.
Extra innings are presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. 10th inning from Cincinnati. Cubs are 1-2 in extras. The Reds are 3-3. This is the 7th time they've gone to extra innings.
Cubs have only won one ball game all year, in which they've been trailing entering the 8th, as was the case today. Just don't see it very often. That kind of a comeback in the later innings. But still work to be done. They managed to tie it. Now they got to find a way to win it. Leadoff double might help.
Rizzo hits it sky high on the infield, and it's Todd Frazier who will one-hand it. That'll bring up Soriano. The reason we're in extra innings, his 2-run homer in the 8th.
No doubt about it, as he flips the bat away and starts that trot around the diamond off of Logan Ondrusek.
It's pretty nasty. Curveball had Soriano spinning out of the way. White Sox are at 500, 5-3 the final as they sweep the Miami Marlins. A couple of outfield assists in that game. Viciato and Rios fly to left. This is Lutz for the out. First time the Sox have been at 500 since April 10th when they were 4-4. Marlins? Well, they played their 50th game of the year and suffered their 37th loss. They're 18 games back in the National League East. They're not as far out of first as possibly the Astros might be. They're trailing 6-2 in the ninth at home against Oakland. And they started the day 18 back of Texas. The Rangers lead in the fourth, 2-0 in Seattle. 2-1 on Hairston. Scott turned 33 yesterday.
Reds playing no doubles. Very deep in the outfield. Frazier pinned to the line there at third. The only exception being Votto off the line on the offside of the field. So he's reading a catcher in the rye.
Curveball inside.
Well, that's the danger pitch the Cubs have been running into lately. Those two-strike breaking balls or changeups that you leave in the zone, you're asking for trouble. He got away with it there.
Sunday night game tonight, Braves and Mets from Citi Field. Mets have lost 5 in a row. The Braves have won 8 straight. Here's a 3-2 to Hairston. Another curveball inside. That's a 2-out walk.
Thrown a couple nasty ones, but he's also been inconsistent with that breaking ball. Braves, as you mentioned, won 8 in a row. Have been a very streaky team. They're 15-5 at home, and really notable because they've only played 20 home games of their first 48 ball games. They got a 5.5 game lead in the division, and they've been on the road more than anybody.
On Castillo. 10th inning, 4-4. Reds scored early.
Trying to sneak one in on him.
1-1.
Mentioned earlier, Hannigan tough to run on.
Fair ball past Frazier into the corner and left. Hairston's going to be sent by David Bell. And the Cubs take the lead. Wellington Castillo with an RBI double.
What a big swing of the bat for Wellington Castillo. The Reds playing no doubles, guarding the line, and he's still able to drive it past Frazier. Look how close he is to the line, just late reacting to that hot shot off the bat of Castillo. And Hairston on the move with contact, comes all the way around to score. And that's really unforgivable if you're playing no doubles to allow that ball to get by you down the line.
And it all happens with 2 outs. The walk to Hairston and then the double by Castillo. Cubs have scored 5 unanswered since the 4-run fourth for Cincinnati. 3-0 on Valbuena. They'll go after Barney instead with runners at first and second.
All 5 of the Cubs runs scoring today with 2 outs. The 3-run rally in the 8th started with 2 outs. This should be a nice tonic to end this stretch of games here in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati if they can hang on.
So we look ahead now to the bottom of the 10th. Bruce Frazier and a pinch hitter, and it'll be Kevin Gregg. Came on to get Phillips to end the 9th. So I guess Gregg will try to save it for himself. Actually, he can't get a win and a save, so he would get the win if he can close them out. Why can't you get a win and a save?
They don't allow that. Even Superman can't get a win and a save in the same game.
Most interesting man in the world is probably the only one who can. Well, we will go to the bottom of the 10th. Cubs catcher Wellington Castillo giving the Cubs the lead as Hairston scored. It's 5-4 Cubs.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch. Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
What's something that's slow that you wish was fast?
Turtle.
Really? A turtle?
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'd rather be a slow turtle.
Well,
I know why. Because when you're slower, you won't have to get in the street as fast and get ran over.
But if you're a slow turtle and you're in the middle of the street, what happens? Austin? Exactly.
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network.
Heading to the Kia Memorial Day sales event is better than heading to some other sales event. Because you can test drive an Optima with an available GDI turbo engine. A Sorrento with available third-row seating and a power liftgate. Or a Soul, an IIHS top safety pick. And every Kia is backed by one of these. Better cars, better warranty. Game, set, match. Lease the Optima LX for $199 a month or get 0% APR financing at the Kia Memorial Day sales event.
Tomorrow, the Crosstown Cup is back on Comcast Sportsnet. Get the most in-depth coverage of the city's favorite series with a special hour-long pregame live from the ballpark. Join JD and me for Game 1 of the Crosstown Cup, presented by The Great Escape, tomorrow night at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet.
This would be a pretty great escape to steal this one from the Reds. To come back late in their ballpark and have a hard-fought win. That would be a good way to finish the weekend in Cincinnati.
Great tweet from Rick Odell. Said, hey, you can get tagged with a blown save and a loss, so you should be able to get a win and a save. Yes. Good call, Rick. 1-0 the count on Jay Bruce. 1-1. Greg does not waste any time.
Jay Bruce is going to take a little extra time.
Soriano had to make an adjustment and go back on it right at the last second. 1 out.
We talk a lot about pitcher stuff. For Greg, the key for me has been his command, his ability to throw his pitches where he wants to a high percentage of the time. It's really been impressive.
Up and in on Frazier. Jack Hanahan on deck. Off the corner. It's 2-1. Frazier trying to tie it up with that swing. 2-2. Greg coming back. Fastball is outside. It's full. Ball 4. Get a pinch runner for Frazier. That'll be Derek Robinson with the game-winning RBI yesterday on a suicide squeeze bunt.
Robinson, a real speedster, was recruited to play cornerback at the University of Florida. Stolen bases throughout his minor league career.
Fastball missing to the pinch hitter Hanahan. Reds have done a great job off the bench, collectively hitting .310 with 3 home runs and 18 RBIs, leading the National League in pinch hitting.
And so far in the big leagues this year, 1 steal, but he's been caught twice. Hanahan had a big hit last time we were in town.
I think it was a bases loaded walk, maybe. Does that sound right?
I don't remember him hitting a gapper.
You could be correct. Good pitch on the corner. Hanahan not buying it.
Just a little bit off, but rewarded was Greg for hitting his spot. Castillo set up off that outside edge. And back out. Robinson not measuring a very big lead down there at first base.
There goes the runner, and it's punched foul. Catcher's interference. First and second.
Immediately point to Castillo. Wellington with the base runner going. He's just getting a little jumpy, trying to come out of his squat behind home plate. He sees the base runner going. He starts to drift forward to go get that ball. And that puts him in harm's way. You hear the little double hit there. Hanahan had it. Bob Davidson was all over it. Never easy.
So without a hit, the Reds have 2 on with 1 out. It's Hannigan the catcher. Almost said Hannigan. Inside, ball 1. So Castillo gets an error on the catcher's interference. Called strike. It's now an official at bat for Hanahan, who reaches. Greg's 1-1. Fouled off. Lutz on deck. Tying run at second. Winning run at first. Cubs grab the lead on a Castillo RBI double in the top of this inning with 2-out rally. A walk to Hairston. A hit by Castillo. Cubs with their first lead of the entire day, and it's been a long one. This game nearing the 4.5-hour mark.
And again with the big 3-run home run in Friday night's game. He was 2 for 4 yesterday. He's got a knock and a run scored here today. He is capable of grounding into a double play.
We might even say he's due.
Hit on the ground the last 2 times up. 1 to second, 1 to short.
Yeah. So had he done that with a man on, he would have. Cubs have lost the last 8 one-run games against the Reds. Trying to change that today.
We got a beach ball loose out in right field.
A beach boy or ball?
Beach ball. Yeah, the beach boys are taking a nap. We got a beach boy loose in the outfield. They want to perform. They're tired of waiting around.
In the left, and it behind it. Robinson tagging and holding. 2 down. Kevin Gregg thinking, let's get out of here with one win. Cubs without one so far on this trip. Inside, ball one.
Infielders got to be ready to leave their feet, knock anything down, keep the ball in the infield. A base hit to the outfield is going to score the Speedy Robinson.
This should do it. Darwin Barney to Rizzo. Cubs win. They erase a 4-0 deficit. Send it to extras and beat the Reds in 10 innings.
Well, a long day at the ballpark, but a rewarding one. The Cubs steal one here late. Just the second time this year they've won a ball game in which they were trailing entering the 8th inning. Good win for a team that desperately needed one.
So our GMC players of the game, we're going to give it to the Cubs bullpen.
Yeah, Matt Garza done after 4 this afternoon, and a procession of relievers coming in pitching shutout baseball. DeJesus, Marmol with 1 scoreless. He didn't allow a hit. James Russell, as per usual, a clean 1-2-3 inning with a punch out. He got Votto. Fujikawa, an inning in 2/3. A walk, a strikeout, no hits, no runs. And then Kevin Gregg, he's the winner. Good work by the boys in the Cubs bullpen this afternoon.
So they snap their 6-game skid, and it's off to the south side of Chicago tomorrow night right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So now for JD and our entire crew, Len Casper from Cincinnati. Your final score, Cubs 5, Reds 4 in 10. Join us tomorrow, 5 o'clock Central, for the pregame. First pitch right after 6. And we're not done yet. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live is next.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan back in our downtown Chicago studios, reminding you to stick around. Cubs Postgame Live, a winning edition, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Holly joins me. We'll break down the game, look ahead to tomorrow's matchup with the White Sox. Stick around. We'll be right back after a very quick break.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch. Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
The Honda Civic keeps getting better. Now with more standard features than ever before. It's the best Civic yet. Only at your Honda dealer.
Before they can heal, before they can feel at home again, before they can thrive, we need to remind our troops they're heroes. Join us today in sharing an expression of thanks at bankofamerica.com/troopthanks. For each expression, we'll donate $1 to nonprofit organizations dedicated to helping our service members and veterans succeed here at home.
Refreshment calls,
Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Look at them kids. They have no idea what it was like before UVerse high-speed internet.
Yeah. You couldn't just stream movies to a device like that.
One time, I'd wait half a day to watch a movie. You watch movies? I was lucky if I could watch a show.
Show? Man, I was happy to see a sneezing panda clip.
Trevor, have you eaten today? You sound a little grumpy.
Connect all your Wi-Fi enabled devices with UVerse high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online, only at southwest.com. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. AT&T, rethink possible. Xfinity Home, your total home security and home control solution. Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Audi, truth in engineering. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
On the infield. Base hit to the outfield is going to score the Speedy Robinson.
This should do it. Darwin Barney. To Rizzo. Cubs win. They erase a 4-0 deficit.
Cubs avoid the sweep, snap the 6-game skid. They get a real nice come-from-behind win against a very, very good Cincinnati Reds team. 5-4 your final in 10. Hello and welcome to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. He's Todd Hollinsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Losing streak over. I know the Cubs' record isn't good, but that was a lot of fun to beat a really good Reds team with a great comeback.
Well, it is a great comeback, and you think of the circumstances coming into this game, the way the beginning of this game broke down, you felt like, oh no, here go the Cubs again. But this is what kind of keeps pulling you back in. I'm trying to figure out why they can't do this earlier in ball games, but the quality at bat seems to show itself late with the Cubs. It's not always turning into wins, but you saw it today. They got over it. The bullpen was fantastic, kept things in check, gave them an opportunity. Great at bats late in this ball game. A nice win. All right, let's check out our Sports Authority play of the game. And watch, it starts with a walk. Not something the Cubs have been very adept at drawing so far this season, but Scott Hairston draws a walk. Nice job, good eye, good piece of hitting. And then Wellington Castillo delivered. Oh, these hits, I love them. Especially when you've got your outfielders playing no doubles, meaning they're back. It's the best base hit in the game is finding that line. Scott Hairston gets a great jump. It's an easy read. He's off to the races. He gets down. Game winner right there. Wellington Castillo, great swing and a favorable hitter's count right there. Drives in Scott Hairston, who had the great at-bat, 3-2 count there. And, again, tip of the cap right there to Scott, because if you think of the circumstances, Scott has not been getting a whole lot of playing time. He's been struggling, and he's able to put together a great at-bat there. You don't know what you seem to think. Well, you think those innocent walks that lead off an inning right there, you got your game winner. Good at-bat right there. Hopefully a step in the right direction. And I will tell you, an awful job by Frazier over at third. Boy, did not look good defensively on that ball. Hard hit, but that's a play a big league third baseman has got to make. Let's go back to the 8th inning, though. Cubs trailed in this game 4-0, but they found a way to chip away, and then eventually tied it. Starlin Castro comes up here, nice piece of hitting, just hits it the other way. Ball was off the plate. Real nice job. It gets things started with 2 outs. It's still a 4-1 game. There's a wild pitch. It's going to send him into scoring position, and Anthony Rizzo is going to deliver. A double down the line, and that gets Soriano to the plate. Cap, all of these at-bats, both of those at-bats, 7 pitches with 2 outs in the 8th inning. What you want to see. Again, hard to explain why it doesn't happen earlier in the ball game. Glad we saw it late. Castro, Rizzo, great at-bats, and that's why Sori, you talk about lengthening the guy on the mound, keeping him in pressure situations. He's now up near 20 pitches. And then here comes the cookie. Sori was ready for it, ties the ball game with a 2-run bomb. Yeah, that pitch that Ondrusek threw,
I mean, you couldn't put it on a tee any better, and Soriano delivered.
And that's exactly what you talk about when you want to get those lengthy at-bats. Starlin Castro had a fantastic at-bat. I know it's 2 outs, nobody on, but again, you look at it, you say, you get mad at him sometimes for swinging at the first pitch at the wrong time in the wrong situations, but you see it there. That's the glimpses of the improvement that you're hoping comes with these kids. More throughout the game. You saw it late today. Starlin puts together the nice at-bat, battles back, 3-2 pitch, base hit. Anthony Rizzo down 0-2, gets the thing all the way back to 3-2, gets a pitch to hit a cookie, rips it down the right field line, scores a run, gets himself into position, and then 3 pitches later, Ondrusek's now been out there for 20 pitches, and we talk about the 89-mile-an-hour fastball right over the middle of the plate. Where are the mistakes in an inning? Typically, when you get a pitcher to 15, 16, 20, 25 pitches, that's when the mistakes start to show up.
All right, now Johnny Cueto pitched very well today. He's been injured most of the season, as was the Cubs starter. Matt Garza was making just his second start of the season. But Johnny Cueto was excellent today. Really locked in and really handcuffed the Cubs early.
Well, adding and subtracting again, if you're pitching to the scouting report, you're going to see it here. Great two-seam fastball right there. Elevating his fastball at times, but again, not a lot of fastballs around the plate. Cubs, that's what they do. They hit good fastballs and just about anybody's. You can throw your secondary pitches for strikes, and you're watching all of these. These are all secondary pitches right here. Cutters, sliders, changeups. Cubs sometimes struggle, and, well, they did today. They struggled. That ball right there has got life to it, bottom of the zone, changeup, easy ground out right there. Cueto had their number early in this ball game, and again, that's really what he did. You don't see Johnny throwing 92, 94, which he can do. He'll rush it, and there's some teams he'll rush it against, not the Cubs. All about changing speeds. Look at all these swings, and look at the velocity. Cubs not making good contact.
Well, let's talk about Matt Garza. He did not have as good an outing, nowhere near close to what he did in Pittsburgh the other night. He got off to an okay start, but just didn't seem to have real good command today. Pitch count was elevated quick.
Well, Reds didn't chase the same pitches that the Pittsburgh Pirates were chasing. A lot of there were some bury-me pitches, and again, he had some strikeouts in this ballgame, Cap. He had, what number? He had 7. He had 7. Problem is he had 4 walks. That's kind of what you get to. That pitch count got elevated. It got elevated early. We were breaking down the first inning and thinking he had 26 pitches in the first inning, and the Reds didn't do anything. Why? Well, the Reds, they're pretty good about this. It got to Matt. Matt started to struggle. You saw it there in the 4th inning. It was his last inning of work. 92 pitches in 4 innings. That's a huge number. Again, you see what makes him good with the 7 strikeouts in the 4 innings, the ability to dominate one of the better lineups. But they're going to grind you out, and that was their game plan today. They wanted to get Matt Garza out there, get into the Cubs bullpen. It backfired. Why? Cubs bullpen was on their game today.
That's exactly where we're leaning. We call that a tease in the business. Well done. Let's talk about the Cubs bullpen, because Kevin Gregg may have gotten the save, a 4-out save, but the rest of the pen that was asked to work today, outstanding. Carlos Marmol pitched well. James Russell pitched well. And the Cubs, in relief of Matt Garza, found a way to slow down a really good hitting club in their park.
Well, they didn't make mistakes, and really for me, when it comes to the Reds, when I talk about making mistakes, is putting those extra runners on base, typically walks. Reds are very good about doing that. They kept the ball in the yard. That's another thing. They did a nice job today getting out there, throwing strike one. What trouble they got themselves into, they were able to execute pitches and change speeds in the middle of the at-bat, get some weak ground balls to the second baseman, and get a couple double plays and get themselves out of there, all the while keeping the Cubs in it. The Cubs have been good about this year, especially the bullpen, when they've been asked to keep a game in check. The concern was when it got to 4-4, was it going to get away from them? That's what this team has kind of been about, those pressure situations. But today was hopefully something that will build, leading into crosstown, that they can take with them a nice big win against the Reds, a team that's had their number over the last few weeks.
Garza, 4 innings, 4 hits, but the bullpen gave up 1 solitary hit. Rafael Dolis gave 1 hit today. Other than that, nobody else gave up a hit in the Cubs pen. And there's Kevin Gregg. Really did a nice job. He came in relief of Fujikawa, who may have been injured again. We don't know. We'll wait to hear. But Kevin Gregg did his job again.
Well, they're aggressive. They're strike throwers, all of them. Today, and I'll speak to today, I don't want to expand on that conversation too much, because I know that there's been the bumps and the bruises down there. But Cap, down in the game for most of the game, and this is what you certainly applaud Kevin Gregg for being, is aggressive. He's throwing 90 miles an hour. You throw a little splitty, you throw a little cutter, a little slider, changing speeds, but throwing strikes. That's the bottom line, not making problems for yourself. Cubs defense has been pretty good of late, and you're throwing strikes, you're making action, you're keeping your guys on their toes, and you're making the plays. That's what you want to see.
All right, time for a break here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. When we come back, He will break down the box scores for both teams. And later on in the show, we'll look at tomorrow's matchup. Crosstown rival White Sox at U.S. Cellular Field. Stick around. Be right back.
Sports Authority is proud to be the official sporting goods retailer of the Chicago Cubs. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
At Sports Authority, we have all the name brands you love, like Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, and The North Face. We carry fitness equipment, camping, bikes, baseball, and more. We offer a rewards program, The League, which earns you 5% back. And we'll match prices with our ad price match promise. So why do we do it? Because we love sports just as much as you do. All the best brands, all the best value. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Lift the darkness, light a fire for the silent and the broken hearted. Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up? Won't you stand up, you girls and boys? Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up? Won't you stand up and use your voice?
The next time you fake wearing your seatbelt, remember this. Cops have been trained to spot seatbelt violations even at night. And they don't give out fake tickets. Day or night, click it or ticket.
And the shot clock is winding down. The game is on the line. He puts up the three.
Get into the game with Wingstop. Crispy classic or boneless wings cooked fresh to order, tossed and sauced in your choice of 10 mouth-watering flavors. And for a limited time, pick up the new triple double pack. Classic and boneless wings in 3 flavors, fresh cut fries, rolls, and more. All for just $19.99. Be the MVP. Wingstop, the official wings of sports fans.
Great day for a move.
Yeah, you want to help?
Nah, I'm good. Hey, I still owe you that $500?
Yeah, and a lawnmower.
Hey, you've got DirecTV.
Yeah.
Call them. They'll hook up your new pad with phone and super fast internet, and you can get that whole home DVR upgrade for free. I just saved you over $500. It's like you owe me now.
The Movers Deal. Call now to bundle, plus get our most advanced DVR upgrade for free.
It's our pride in the red, white, and blue. It's our commitment that always comes shining through. It's everything that you need. The hardest working people in America find value at Farm and Fleet.
The Crosstown Cup is coming May 27th through the 30th on Comcast Sportsnet.
Time now for our Four Seasons heating and air conditioning. Who's hot and who's not so hot? How about Cargo? This guy just continues to rake. 7 knocked in the last 7 days, 400 batting average, 3 home runs. Dominic Brown, who at one time was rumored to be coming to the Cubs for Soriano last winter. 7 knocked in, 333 BA, and 2 home runs. And Everth Cabrera, the Padres, smoking along at 346, a couple dingers. Who's icy cold? Ryan Webb of the Miami Marlins, 0-2. 2 1/3, 4 earned runs. Wade Miley, 0-2 and 9 2/3, 9 earned. And Ike Davis better get ready for his trip to the Las Vegas 51s. AAA is calling. 0-71, 1 for his last 14, having an awful year. Ouch. Time now for the UPS Store taking care of business play of the game. All right, game is on the bases. You got the tying run at the plate. You got a man at second. And Soriano delivers.
25th pitch of the inning, Cap. I'm telling you, that is the game of baseball. It's what you're shooting for. And you had your guy at the plate right there, your big power hitter right there in the middle of the lineup. He got the cookie, and he didn't miss it. Drove it out and tied this ball game.
Yep, Ondrusek threw him exactly what he was looking for. Middle in, a little low, which he loves, and he absolutely crushed it. And that is our UPS Store taking care of business play. We continue Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Let's check out the box scores for both teams. We'll start with the Subway winning box score, and this one, as Marty Brenneman of the Reds would say, belongs to the Cubs. David DeJesus, a rough afternoon late, 0 for 5. I don't think anyone would have picked him as key performer. Starlin Castro, 2 for 5, a double, scored a run. Anthony Rizzo, 1 for 5. Soriano, 2 for 4 with the homer. Shearholtz, a couple of knocks. Castillo, a knock. Valbuena, a couple of really well-earned walks, one an intentional variety, and, of course, an RBI to get things going, to get the Cubs on the board. Darwin Barney had a hit.
Well, it's impressive, and again, you look at the damage that was done, all of it late, certainly after Cueto was out of the ballgame. I tell you, I'm going to do some homework during Crosstown. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, talking about the approach from the Cubs, why we can't get this a little earlier in ballgames. This is one thing, and I had David DeJesus on my radio show on MLB Network this week, and I asked him about that. I said, David, what is the deal? I said, we watch you guys, and I said, you get to the closer, Aroldis Chapman, and some of these 7th and 8th inning guys, and guys are putting together at bats, 6 and 7 pitches, going the other way, understanding the game. And I said, you got some 4 and 5 starters out there that you guys are letting skate through these games, thinking you guys are so much better hitters than that. And he just talked about the pressure that they feel that they're under, kind of looking for that moment, that first run or that first hit, and they just seem to search for it. Every game, I can't seem to put my finger on it, why they can't get into a better rhythm earlier in a ball game, but you see it. But for some reason, late, they put those at-bats together. If they get this thing figured out, I'm telling you, it's going to turn. If the starting pitching continues to maintain itself, and again, I know it's kind of wavered a little bit, certainly in this series, but they've got a chance, and that's what I bank it on.
Amazing thing is, the pressure should be way harder facing Aroldis Chapman or whoever else when you're losing 0-0 early. Yeah, we got all game to get them. You're exactly right. You're onto something.
It's hard to figure out right now.
All right, we will be right back. We'll finish up Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Look at them kids. They have no idea what it was like before U-verse high-speed internet.
Yeah. You couldn't just stream movies to a device like that.
One time, I'd wait half a day to watch a movie. You watch movies? I was lucky if I could watch a show.
Show? Man, I was happy to see a sneezing panda clip.
Trevor, have you eaten today? You sound a little grumpy.
Connect all your Wi-Fi enabled devices with U-verse high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
Left the darkness, light a fire for the silent and the broken hearted. Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up? Won't you stand up, you girls and boys? Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up? Won't you stand up and use your voice?
Your old air conditioner is costing you money. Put your money back in your pocket with a new energy-efficient air conditioner from Four Seasons. And right now, get a new air conditioner from just $24.95 installed. Furnace and AC combos from just $36.95. Plus, enjoy 5 years interest-free financing. Save money on your electric bill with a new AC from Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
I'm a contractor. It's a good feeling to build something. I can build anything.
I don't see it.
Clients aren't always visual, so visual aids are important, like brochures, posters, proposals.
Oh, I see it.
Have to look good. I print all my stuff at the UPS store down the street. They help me with everything.
He likes it.
Business is good.
Nobody gives you more in a 7-passenger vehicle than Dodge. Dodge Durango delivers best-in-class standard power and towing. Dodge Journey is America's most versatile midsize crossover. And Dodge Grand Caravan is America's best-selling, most awarded minivan ever. So maybe the most important thing we give you in a 7-passenger vehicle is a choice. Now, during the Memorial Day sales event, get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan.
Back in 1991, people thought we were crazy to quit our day jobs and open New Belgium Brewing. They said Fat Tire was a weird name for a beer. And being 100% employee-owned and environmentally conscious would never work. The world is full of people who like to say, you can't do that. And for all of them out there, we have one thing to say. Fat Tire from New Belgium Brewing.
All right, Cubs win in extras. Let's take a look back at Holly's Keys to the pregame show, sponsored by our friends at Blue Cross Blue Shield, the great John Ory.
No, Cap, I was on my game. It didn't go the Cubs' way early. It started his pitch count. I mean, this is why it was something that stood out to me. The Reds put the pressure on Matt. He struggled early, 92 pitches, 4 innings. They got him out of there. On the flip side, they really struggled against Cueto again until they got him out of there. Now, the power surge came late. You know, the Rizzo double, the Castillo double, putting together good at-bats. It happened, and it was late, but it was good enough, and it certainly was good enough for the win in the big inning. The Cubs, again, gave up that big inning, a 4-run inning early. Matt Garza was on the bump. It was in the 4th inning. They flipped it back around. Again, one of my questions about that big inning was, could the Cubs come up with their own big inning in this series? And they did. It was in the 8th, and they got it done.
You looked at Cueto today, and you knew he always dominates the Cubs. They had to have a good approach against him. They struggled early, but his pitch count got to him as well.
7 innings.
Yeah, and they weren't going to let him throw a complete game, no matter it was a 4-0 ball game or not. And the bullpen couldn't do it with Noah Aldis Chapman or Broxton available.
No, Cap, essentially what you're looking for is victories inside of a ball game. If you're not going to go up against Cueto and do what you're hoping to do, you're going to get some opportunities late. The idea is don't let him go CG, or if you struggled with him in the past. You hear a lot of managers talk about this. There's always victories to come out of it. If you're in the first game of a series and they have your number and you're losing this ball game, get in their bullpen. Get the bullpen's innings up or the pitches up, and so they can't use them. And interestingly enough, it's how this thing set it up. You saw no Chapman today, and you saw no Broxton today, and you got a Cubs win. So little victories, those are things that you look at as the team tries to improve.
All right, now early in the game, in fact, the first hitter, David DeJesus, seemed to annoy Johnny Cueto. You played, you've been in that situation, and you talked about David DeJesus taking his time in the first inning. Johnny Cueto's like, let's go, dude. You see him with the hands on the hips. Now he turns his back on him. Little gamesmanship. Well, it gets a little nastier later in the game.
No, and it should. You know what? Well, it shouldn't have got nastier later in the game. Now, I know this kind of got talked down a little bit. I'm going to say this. I watched Johnny Cueto, played against Johnny Cueto. I've watched Johnny Cueto. He was 2 to 4 inches around the plate all day long, and then one sails over David DeJesus' head. He had a smile on his face. I know they downplayed it. It's probably the right way to go. Don't want to make something out of it, but hard for me to believe that there wasn't any intent or any purpose behind it. I believe there was. It just seemed like there was something there earlier in the game. Johnny was around the plate all day, and then all of a sudden one flies.
You've been there.
I speak the obvious, you know what, and sometimes I find it hard to argue. It was much harder for me to come up with the reasons why that wouldn't have been a purpose pitch than that. He was dominating this lineup. There was one out in this inning, and I know the argument's made in the other direction. Why would he make trouble with the Cubs? At the same time, I'm thinking he's dominating this lineup.
He's enforcing what he thinks is his right.
That's exactly right, and I think that's what you saw.
All right, before we get out of here, let's check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's series opener against the White Sox at U.S. Cellular. Two pitching matchup. The Sharks, Jeff Samardzija against Jose Quintana.
Well, you're going to hope the Cubs' bats really come to life. I've got no question Jeff's going to be on his game. He's been on his game really all season long. Again, hopefully avoid a big inning. One of those things that's kind of derailed him at times. Hopefully a little bit more efficient. I'd love to see him back out there. There's been a lot of bullpen innings certainly here today, so hopefully Jeff can give you 7+.
All right, Gus, see you tomorrow at the ballpark. Good. Thank you for watching Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Cubs win in 10. Come from 4 down, win 5-4. We'll see you tomorrow at 5.